I know that many people would think that money is the key ingredient for someone to take up professional gambling as their job. But this is not true. You see, we think that freshness is the number one requirement for a sashimi restaurant to flourish and become extremely successful over time. But freshness is a given. It is common sense. How can you be selling sashimi that is not fresh? Instead, food presentation and the varieties offered is key to catapulting the business into new heights, helping it to stand out among its competitors. Saying that money is an important requirement to be a professional gambler is also given. It is also common sense. The number one thing that is required for an individual to be a professional gambler is actually to have the right heart. Anyone who wants to go into the casino thinking that they can make millions of dollars of quick money is harming themselves. And I would always ask, why are you chasing after that kind of wealth? What do you want to do with it? I mean, what happens after you own your dream house, your dream car, your dream wife, and your dream everything else? Then what's next? Do you just lay in bed every day waiting for death to come? This is why you always hear celebrities getting into drug problems, overdosing, checking into rehabilitation centers, and doing crazy things that would severely harm their lives and reputation. When you allow mindless greed to take over, it would translate into your actions at the tables. What the casino wants is for you to play recklessly. Why do you think that they offer free alcohol to the VIPs? Why do you think they always give out free rooms and air tickets for you to be within their premise? Everything that casinos do is to manipulate your emotions, manipulate your heart. The weak will fall without fail. If you believe that your heart is at the right place to take up this profession, then it is time for you to think about the monetary aspects of things. How much money is enough? Well, let me give you a few scenarios. It is important to note that 10 to 15% net profit from your day's bankroll is already a very good achievement. This is way better than you committing your cash in a fixed deposit account for 10 years. If you bring $1,000 into the casino, you are better off not going. In Singapore, we have a $150 entry levy. So even before you start doing anything, 15% of your bankroll is gone, taking your day's target to as high as 30%. This is not a good situation to put yourself in. If you have $20,000 to start with, a 10% win is already $2,000. Just 2 successful trips to the casino, you'll be earning a person's average monthly salary for just 60 minutes worth of work. You would also need backup money. Your first goal is to systematically cover the cost of your bankroll. Anything more would be set aside as your actual profits. In the event, if you lose your bankroll, your backup money would have to come into play. Professional gambling is a high-cost business or profession to start. If you are sure that you got the money and the heart to do this, you now need the skills. Sadly, in order to master a skill, you need to pay tuition fees. This is why a lot of people end up losing a lot of money, and for a good number of them, they get thrown into a place where they cannot return to living their normal lives. Therefore, the 3 main things required to be a professional gambler are: number 1, have the right heart. Number 2, have sufficient money. Number 3, have the skills to win. If you haven't started this journey, please do not walk down this road. It is a dark, slippery path. Everything may look glorious on the outside, but no one truly knows what's happening to those who have lost all of their life's money within the 4 walls of their own bedroom. No one really knows what kind of suffering they are going through. But the truth is, all the dark things are always hidden and unseen. The mind of a professional gambler is a robotic one. They calculate everything in life. They budget everything. they gather as much information as possible, crunch those numbers, crunch those information, and in the event, if they do not understand what they are seeing, they will do their fair share of research. Eventually, they will make a smart decision in view to win. This does not happen only at the tables. This happens everywhere, while at the mall queuing for coffee, while at the restaurant ordering food, while driving on the expressway, and while negotiating for a business deal. A professional gambler never stops calculating, evaluating, and making smart decisions. It is bloody tiring. If you are a professional gambler, everything must be logical. Your relationships must be logical. The things that your children do must be logical. And I'm not saying that you won't enjoy life anymore, but a lot of things that you do will feel mediocre from now onward. Why? Because while at the tables, you have trained yourself to become emotionless. You can fire $20,000 and feel absolutely nothing when you win or when you lose. If you are into professional gambling for just merely half a year, your finances will take a turn for the better. Of course, this is assuming that if you are a good professional gambler. Say for example, if you love good food, you wouldn't have a problem paying for it. Think about this for a moment. Imagine eating good food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'll get sick of it. Now think about this very same topic, but in another event. Imagine if you are on a date with a girl and you're eating good food as well. The food that you are eating wouldn't give you that magical, exciting feel anymore because you are so used to it. And this is just only one aspect of life that I am talking about. Many people feel that having money would turn their lives around for the better, but fact to the matter is, most of the time, it would cause that person to fall deeper into something so dark and painful. When a professional gambler loses his grip in life, he may literally lose his life in totality. However, when a pro is at the tables, they know that they've got everything under their control. The dealers, the cards, the chips, the events, the surroundings, the decisions, and the winnings. The only thing that they cannot control is the actual outcome. But even so, they are still able to plan 3 steps ahead, play out scenarios in their minds on what may possibly happen, and when these different outcomes happen and present themselves, what they can do to overcome it and what they can do to make better decisions moving forward. It is like getting married and planning for everything. And I mean everything. What happens if my wife runs away? What happens if she cheats on me? What happens if she falls sick? What happens if she passes away? What happens if she cannot find a job? A professional gambler thinks of every possible outcome and build a good model to solve every possible problem that may or may not happen. I've got this habit of going to a location early if I'm not familiar with that place. I would want to walk at least 2 rounds to know what is in the vicinity before hanging around there. I've trained myself to have a mind that needs to know my surrounding and needs to know everything, because when I'm at the table, an unfamiliar surrounding can cause me to lose tens of thousands of dollars. If you have never stepped into the casino before, my biggest and most valuable advice to you is not to start. Do not take this path if you are not already on this journey. The biggest hurdle in trying to beat the casino is you yourself, your emotions. You are your greatest competitor. I've done this for 15 years of my life, and I've only met one successful professional gambler. For the other happy-go-lucky patrons, you can see that they never last for more than a year. Even for me, my path wasn't easy at all. I had to pay a huge price to get to where I am today. Being a professional gambler is like being a movie stunt man. You rub shoulders with the famous, you earn a sizable income, your identity is always in the shadows, and you will never fail to experience some form of pain. It is only a matter of whether the pain is a big one or a small one. Becoming a legendary stuntman requires you to fall many times before you can even smell that little bit of success. For some people, they fall, they get hospitalized, they recover, and they become successful. For many others, they fall and they die. You take this path as a professional gambler only if you are ready to go through the extreme pain and sufferings. Society would hate you. You may even need to hide your profession from your family. If your workplace knows that you are a gambler, your career's future will become uncertain. If your girlfriend's parents know that you do this for a living, it is unlikely that they will accept you as their future son-in-law. Professional gambling may have been glamorized by people like James Bond, Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu, and all the other television professional gambling personalities. But please remember, what you see on TV is usually different in real life. In fact, they are two worlds apart. A lot of people have asked me to be their teacher, but so far, 100% of them are thinking of jumping into this trade because the returns look delicious. They've got some form of debt to clear. They are looking to buy a house. They want to expand their businesses and all that. Basically, they just want quick cash. The casino will never feed you quick cash. Mathematically and realistically, your chances of walking out of the casino becoming a millionaire is very slim or close to zero. If you want to take this path because you love the game, you love to analyze information and make sound decisions from your analysis, you love the dynamics of the game, and you feel very strongly that this is your calling, then you can consider moving forward. Now, after making that decision carefully and sensibly, you need to ask yourself, are you financially and situationally equipped? Do you have at least $20,000? Will you be financially okay if you lose that $20,000? Are you heavily in debt? Do you have other obligations and dependents to deal with? Do you have multiple streams of income? Do you have the flexibility to visit the casino during non-peak hours? Do you have to hide around and lie to your family about going to the casino? Do you already have some basic gambling skills? Do you know which game you would like to focus on? Are you ready to go through great mental pain? If your answer is yes to all of the above questions, then you can take the next step into making professional gambling your profession.